Imagine you're trying to understand a painting, but instead of looking at the whole thing at once, you are only allowed to look at one small patch at a time. And the colors here, the brushstrokes there, the composition is somewhere else. And then you have to stitch all of that together in your head. That is roughly how previous multimodal AI system worked. GPT 5.5 does something fundamentally different. And to understand why that matters, you need to understand what actually changed under the hood. Previous multimodal were modulars, a language component, a vision encoder there, an audio module somewhere else. Each one was trained separately, then connected at a seam. The model could process multiple types of input, but the reasoning happened in separate compartments that then had to communicate with each other. GPT 5.5 is natively omnimodal. Text, images, audios, and videos all pass through the same unified transformers. Architectures, the attention mechanism, and the mathematical operation that determines which part of the input are most relevant to each other operates across all modalities simultaneously. Think of the difference like this. The old approach is like having four specialists in separate rooms passing notes to each other. Then the new approach puts them all in the same room having one conversation. The quality of reasoning that becomes possible in qualitatively different. Now let's talk about the benchmark. Like most AI benchmark tests isolated capabilities, one reasoning problem, one coding task, one question answers correctly or not. These are useful, but they measure something narrow. Terminal bench is different. It places the model inside a real command-like environment and gives you at a complete multi-step task. The model has to plan what to do and execute the first step, observe what happened, decide what to do next, use tools and recovers from mistakes, and keep going until the task is actually finished. This is much closer to what AI systems actually need to do in the real world. GPT-5 scores 82.7% on terminal bench. Cloud Opus 4.7 scores around 69.4%. That 13-point gap is not just a number on a leaderboard. It reflects something real about how reliable the model can sustain and across long complex tasks without losing the thread. For anyone building agentic system, that numbers matter enormously. The third thing that changed is the most conceptually interesting, and I think it is what's slowing down on. Before GPT 5.5 launch, Codex OpenAI's coding model was given access to weaker production, solving data, real traffic, and real bottlenecks, real infrastructure. It analyzed all of it and rewrote the load balancing logic for the system that serves OpenAI's models. The result was a 20% increase in the token generation. What just happened is uh, very important. A model was used to improve the infrastructure that runs models. The system improves itself one level up from where the model actually operates. This is a small example of something that is going to become a much larger pattern. As model gets better at system reasoning and code generation, the boundary between the what human optimize and what model optimize start to dissolve, and we are at the very beginning of that. Practically, GPT 5.5 is rolling out to Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprises user in ChatGPT right now. API pricing is $5 per million input tokens, $30 per million output tokens, and context window is 1 million token, which is roughly 750,000 words of usable context in a single conversation. And one thing worth paying attention to, GPT 5.5 shipped 6 weeks after GPT 5.4. The interval between frontier releases is compressing. If you're building anything on top of these models, your assumptions about what the best available model can do are going to need updating more frequently, and the most people's planning cycles currently account for. So let's be honest, GPT 5.5 is a genuine architectural step forward, and the Omni model unification is real. The agentic benchmark lead is real. The infrastructure story points towards something larger that is worth watching carefully. These are not a small thing. They are the kind of changes that compound quietly and then suddenly feel obvious in hindsight. Uh, Lastly, I would say please subscribe if this matters to you. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.